Hello, good morning. Today, also I will read three stories of the Mirage story. The first story is the story of 500 Bhikkhus. The second story is the story of the Bhikkhu who contemplates the body as a mirage. The last story is the story of Vitatubha. Three stories. The first story, the story of 500 Bhikkhus. While residing at the Jedavana monastery, the Buddha uttered verses 44 and 45 of this book with reference to 500 bhikkhus. 500 bhikkhus, after accompanying the Buddha to a village, returned to the Jedavana monastery. In the evening, while the bhikkhus were talking about the trip, especially the condition of the land, whether it was level or hilly, or whether the soil was clay or sandy, red or black, etc. The Buddha came to them, knowing the subject of their talk. He said to them, Bhikkhus, the earth you are talking about is external to the body. It is better indeed to examine your own body and make preparations for meditation practice. The Buddha then spoke in verse as follows: Who shall examine this earth, the water Yama, the four Apayas, and the water man together with the water devils? Who shall examine the well-taught path of virtue? As an expert florist picks and chooses flowers, the area seeker shall examine this earth, the water Yama, the four Abhayas, and the water man together with the water devils. The area seeker shall examine the well-taught path of virtue. As an expert florist picks and chooses the flowers. At the end of the discourse, those 500 bhikkhu attain arhataship. The second story, the story of the bhikkhu who contemplates the body as a mirage. While residing at the Jedavana monastery, the Buddha uttered verse 46 of this book with reference to a certain bhikkhu. On one occasion, a certain bhikkhu, after taking a subject of meditation from the Buddha, went to the forest. Although he tried hard, he made little progress in his meditation. So he decided to go back to the Buddha for further instruction. On his way back, he saw a mirage, which, after all, was only an elusive appearance of a zero water. At that instant, he came to realize that the body also was insubstantial like a mirage. Thus, keeping his mind on the insubstantiality of the body, he came to the bank of the river, Achiravati, while sitting under a tree close to the river. Seeing big frogs breaking up, he realized the impermanent nature of the body. Soon the Buddha appeared in his vision and said to him, My son, just as you have realized this body is impermanent like a frog and insubstantiality like a mirage. Then the Buddha spoke in verse as follows: One who knows that this body is impermanent like a frog and comprehends that it is insubstantial like a mirage will cut the flowers of Mara, three kinds of water and realms, and pass outside of the king of death. At the end of the discourse, the bhikkhu attained Arhadasya. The last story, the story of Vitatubha. While residing at the Jedona monastery, the Buddha uttered verse 47 of this book with reference to Vitatubha, son of the king vicinity of Vitatubha, son of the king vicinity of Kosala. King vicinity of Kosala, wishing to marry into the clans of the Satyans, sent some emis- emissaries to Kabilawatu princess. Not wishing to offer the king vicinity, the Satya prince replied that they would comply with his request, but instead of a Satya prince, they sent a very beautiful girl born of King Mahanama and a slave woman. King Vicinity made that girl one of his chief queens, and subsequently he gave birth to a son. This son was named Vitatubha. When the prince was 16 years old, he was sent on a visit to King Mahanama and the second princess. There he was received with the same hospitality, but other such a prince who were younger than Vitatubha had been sent away to a village so that they would not have to pay respect to Vitatubha. After staying a few days in Kapila Vatu, with a few who were with Mahanama and some others. On their way home, Vitatubha and his army encamped on the sandy bank in the river Chiravati. As heavy rain fell in the upper parts of the country on that very night, the river swelled and rushed down with great force, carrying away Vitatubha and his army into the ocean. On hearing about these two tragic incidents, the Buddha explained to the Bhikkhus that his relatives and such branches had in one of their previous existences put poison into the river, killing the fishes. It was as a result of that particular action that the such branches had to die in message. Then, referring to the incident about Vitatubha and his army, the Buddha said, as a great flood sweeps away all the villagers in a sleeping village, so also death carries away all the creatures hankering after sensual pleasures. Then the Buddha spoke in verse as follows. Like one who picks and chews flowers, a man who has his mind attached to sensual pleasures is carried away by death, just as a great flood sweeps away its sleeping village. That's all today. I read about three stories. I hope I usually say as before, you will get some knowledge well and healthy and happy in your daily life. Thank you all for your listening. Glad to you all. You are